and you're very welcome to episode 133 of the Take a Poll podcast with Andy Cummins, Declan Carroll, and Luke Keena also joining us for the grade ones that we're going to be covering over the Christmas period. Thoroughly looking forward to this. It's nearly Christmas, lads. How are things? How are you, Dec? You're nearly a non-runner here, but are you?
Oh, Jesus, I tell you, if I was a horse, the screens would be up for me. I'm sweating up in the parade ring here, and I'll do my best to get through this.
Yeah,
Maybe now it's a bit fresher anyway, so
nice.
I might have to mention the winners.
We'll get you through it. We'll get you through it. Don't worry. Be nice and quick. And Luke, how are you? Happy Christmas, bud. How are things?
All good, thanks. Yeah, sure. Dec's just going to get a nice mark now after today's run.
That's the plan, yeah. But yeah, we'll have him ready for the handicap show. Don't worry. Right. Well, let's just get straight into this. It's a busy. It's gonna be a busy old period for us with plenty of racing, plenty of shows coming up as well. So just keep liking, keep sharing, keep interacting with us. It's free to subscribe as well. No harm in doing that. You'll get a notification of when all our episodes go live, and hopefully you'll get the early prizes, because I imagine there'll be a few. Should be a few that probably won't hold their prizes shortly after this one's up, but we'll see what happens. We'll get straight into it here, lads. Anyway, grade one on the 26th of December. So Racing Post Novice Chase is a grade one, obviously. Over the 2 miles and a furlong. We currently have 10 runners, as people I'm sure are aware. We are working without declarations here. And the odds-on favourite, assuming to be long odds-on favourite, is going to be Romeo Coolio, who was so impressive in the Drimmore when last seen at Fairy House. We do have Salvatore Mundy, July Flower, and Irish Panther the next in there in the betting. Irish Panther, very interesting runner, finally getting the hang of things, and now suddenly a grade one horse all of a sudden. Wasn't on my end of 2025 bingo card deck, but do you think this is a straightforward task for Romeo Coolio, or do you see anything else getting involved?
I'd like to see him come out and do something really, really nice here, because he's coming back to 2 miles. I do think he's very, very exciting. He was very good. He was a joy to watch in the Drimmore, and if he can go back to 2 miles and win well, like, he's better than all is. You'd expect him to win, but like, this race has been notorious for getting, hot pots beaten, the likes of was Vitor beating in this Champagne Fever, beating in it, really exciting novices were beating in it. But I do like the idea of coming back to 2 miles here. I think it's exciting. Irish Panther, look, he well deserves to take his chance. The form is working out of his beginner chase, and he won really, really well that day. Jacob's Ladder, I'm not sure now. He really franks the form, because I'm a big fan of his, but he might be a bit of a lunatic. I might have a few issues, but like, he looked flat to the boards over 2 mile 5 in the beginners, then he's come back to 2 miles and won in beginners. But as you mentioned to me the other day, Andy, Pure Steel has come out and won really, really well. So that's done a bit for the form. July Flower, there's a lot to like about a run at Cheltenham, and the runner up a second to the Lamba there. She wouldn't be up to Romeo Coolio's class for me. Break My Soul, obviously we're big fans of. I'd be hoping it was the ground at Cork. I'm not sure whether she's going to turn up, but no, I wouldn't be discarding her just yet now, because it was very testing that day at Cork. But Romeo Coolio, I'd like to see him come out and do something filthy here, Andy.
Yeah, I think it's probably bar a fall for Romeo Coolio here myself. I would love to see Irish Panther run well. Like, he's clearly going the right way, and as you said, the form's worked out. Pure Steel, as I said, extremely impressive at Punchestown. Backing up that form, probably more trustworthy than Jacob's Ladder, as you correctly said as well. Given he's such an experienced horse.
As well, Andy, because I seen people on I said you on Twitter. So yes, it's nice for them, and he is a nice horse. Like, we're talking about this horse a long time. He's had his issues, but he was getting back to fulfilling the potential he showed as a younger horse at the end of last season. So I know he's 8, but why not have a go?
Absolutely. Lukey, who have you came down on here? Is a Romeo Coolio for yourself as well?
Yeah, I'm just going to echo a lot of what you said. Like, he done Drimmore very impressively. He didn't have to lead. He was happy to sit in behind. But once he turned in, like the race is over in a matter of strides. Back to 2 miles, I'd imagine won't be any issue for him. Salvador Monday was disappointing first time up, but a lot of Willies have been bet first time up, but his form is particularly streaky at times. Like he blows hot and cold. He was good in Punchestown last year and then bombed out at Cheltenham before, beating Romeo Coolio at Aintree. But I think Romeo Coolio has just been a better horse since he's seen a fence in front of him. July Flower, as you're saying, like she's decent form there, but she's probably beaten high graded handicappers rather than good graded horses. I just think Romeo Coolio 4-7. He's just gonna probably go and win this, isn't he?
Yeah, I'd have thought so. I will stick with you then, Luke, for the 27th of December, the Paddy's Rewards Club's Chase. It's over the same course and distance, but it is for the open chasers. This is looking like a real treat now. If the ground can just hold to, not be extremely testing, we would have Marine National and Malmesbury taking on each other here. Found a 50 he'll see grade 1 in the name and probably fall into a shell of himself again. Dino Blue and Only by Night, other potential runners, and last year's winner Solness, although the difference this season, he's making a seasonal reappearance in the race after running in the Fortria beforehand. Luke, I'll stick with you. Who do you like here for the Rewards Club Chase? Yeah,
this is a tidy race, isn't it? Like if you have Marine National in there, Malmesbury, you reeled off the list there, but I'm a big fan of Marine National, but I just think he might be found out first time up. He was bet last year by Colixios and Navan, and it kind of took him till Cheltenham to really get going last year before he put in that impressive performance at Cheltenham and Punchestown. He's 2-1 here. I'd probably just be against him on the day. Malmesbury is the same price, and I'd be happy enough to take him on again. He was down in Cork, like he was very erratic over his fences. I know he's gone back left-handed and he has won over course and distance, but I'd be happy enough to take him on at 2-1. I'd rather watch him fix his issues and maybe row in the next day. But at 2-1 here, I'd be happy enough to wait and see how he jumps. The one I came down on was Dino Blue. Like she ran a cracker on seasonal reappearance there, and Navan to finish as close as she did to found a 50. Like she absolutely ploughed one of the fences down the back and was a few lengths off the back of the pack. She made up ground, and she even looked like she got into a threatening position there 2 out before it ultimately paid the price for that mistake early and probably lacked a bit of match fitness. She has won this race 2 years ago. I think at the price there around 7-1, I thought she was a decent bit of value.
Interesting. Dino Blue down for Lukey. Dec, where are you going with this?
Yeah, look, did anyone think they'd be getting 2-1 on Malmesbury now in this race at the beginning of the season, like especially with Marine National making his seasonal reappearance? But like he's so talented, but he's an absolute nutcase. I actually thought he was jumping fine at Cork until they missed the fence, the one that was dolled off, and then he just went to pot. Like, but geez, he still nearly won the race. Giving way away, like he's carrying 12 stone, and like he's just what you do with him though. Like, do you know what I mean? I wouldn't mind seeing a pair of cheek pieces on him, to be honest, just to keep him, built him into the fences and maybe keep him going forward him over a bit and stop him looking around. But I know he's a bit of a keen horse as well, but they might just sort his jumping out, and he's obviously got that buzzword and a big engine. But yeah, like he clearly does after nearly winning an Arkle and then doing what he done at Punchestown and then Cork, So
yeah,
jumping's the name of the game. He needs to sort it out. Marine National back to his absolute best, or better than we've ever seen before. In the spring when he won the champion chase, and he's gonna back that up at Punchestown. He's top class. Solness is a horse I'm very fond of. He should get his ground here, but it is a seasonal reappearance. He won it last year, but I'd rather see him. I'd fancy him now if he had a run under his belt. But I've come down on Only by Night. She's just touched off in the Arkle. A lot of people think the winner's going to go and win the King George. Obviously, Malmesbury was in that, taking them all home with him. She won in her reappearance when the stable was under a cloud. I really liked her performance that day, especially when you think how bad the form was. I think she's a champion chase horse, and I hope they go down that route rather than going to the mare's chase at Cheltenham.
I think they'll stick to 2 miles myself. I don't see why you wouldn't at this rate. I was still surprised to see a rate at 148 as well, which is, Yeah, it's an interesting one. Yeah, I'd have it between the two mares. I think they're the kind of here and now mares in the race, really. Dino Blue and Only by Night. As Luke said, yeah, Dino Blue won the race 2 years ago. Only by Night still an up and comer. We still don't know how good she is. Marine National and Majborough definitely have questions. If Found a 50 didn't keep completely shit in the bed in grade ones, you'd probably have to be the form pick. But I know
he only likes carrying penalties.
He only carries penalties, yeah. If he's in here at 13 stone, you'd probably have to fancy him. He'd probably think it's a grade 3. But yeah, he's just hard to fancy here on these current terms. He's let me down 20 times in grade 1, so I'll wait for him to rock up in, I don't know, maybe something like the Webster Cup later on in the season or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so I'll stick with Only by Night. I'll take a chance on Only by Night because the yard is under a cloud, as you said. Yeah, I think she's the way I'm going to go on that one. The 147, then the Paddy Power Future Champions Novice Hurdle. This looks like a really strong race as well. Yeah, an absolute cracker. We have 11 currently entered. A lot of really interesting and impressive maiden hurdle winners, which included La Devon Enfant, Skylight Hustle, and Sortudo, and Mr. Pessimistic, obviously, as well. Then we've graded winners like Love Me Tender and Cocktail Brute. And then there's the Passing Wife, who ran so well in the Royal Bond as well. So it's a really strong race there. It's kind of what you'd expect. And then obviously Carrickmount Spruce, rated 127, but you think she'd be a little bit better than that. Luke, I'll come to you again. Who are you fancying for the Novice Hurdle?
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a decent renewal. Like Willie is the top 3 in the market here. Of those, I'd probably be most fond of Sortudo, who's very good in Cork last. They jumped well. Didn't look to lack any pace, which I've seen a lot of things with like him going up and trip later in the season. But like he didn't look short of gears now, and he put away a good bumper horse in Jalan Duderies. Of Willie's 3, he'd be the one for me. But at a bigger price, I'd actually like the last one that you mentioned there, the Passing Wife. He ran a cracker in the Royal Bond. It was only his second start. He good form in bumpers a long time ago, but then missed the season. And he came back this year and he finished 3rd in Goran. And Skylight Hustle was 2nd, and then he came and he finished behind Cocktail Brute in the Royal Bond. I think a more true run race here might suit him better. Leopardstown stiff finish. He looks like he stays well. So if there's one that could maybe pick up a few pieces late on, he might be the one there around 16-1.
I met one of the owners of the Passing Wife in O'Donoghue's last week, and he said he most likely goes to Nice.
Well, there's that minute of my life wasted. So we'll keep going. Yeah, so Sortudo for me then.
Right, Sortudo then for Lukey. Dec, who are you on here?
Look, I think that Divine Avant is going to be the most punted horse of the Christmas. He was absolutely bloodless on his Irish debut. Probably the most punted horse already. French form is not all that. He's only a 4-year-old. He is exciting, but he beat absolutely nothing in his maiden. It was kind of similar to Salvador Mundi when he won at his maiden hurdle at Tipperary. Like there's nothing trying to get close to him, and nothing, with anywhere near the ability to get close to him. I'll be keen to take him on. Love Me Tender. My mate Brian actually knew someone who was bumped into Willie in the Matter Private, and he asked Willie for the tip, and it was Love Me Tender for the Supreme Novices. So you want to go on that? Skylight Hustle. One probably a poor maiden, but did do it well. But before that split, the Devil You Know and the Passing Wife, like we know that's solid enough form. We know Gordons were all coming on for the run as well. Cocktail Brute was the Royal Bond winner. Made all, thought it was a good performance. But you'd have to like Blake. Blake's not in here, is he, Andy?
No, he's been taken out. Yeah.
Sorry. That's actually why I'm not going for Blake. He's not in the race. Yeah. Carrickmount Spruce is just touched off it down right. I think she's a nice horse. She won her maiden well at the Stowe, but I don't think she's going to be up to this because I think the Supreme Novice winner could be in here and it's Sortudo. And I don't know what people are doing talking about him being an Albert Bartlett horse because he's not a slow horse. He was a really good winner of a bumper at Fairyhouse. He ran a good race in the Cheltenham bumper. He's come out on debut. He's done really, really well. He's beaten Jalan Duderie really, really well at Cork. Like the form is solid. I think he wins this, and I think he goes and wins in March as well.
Very good. Yeah, I think it's definitely has a chance or two though. Look, but we've all mentioned the Royal Bond form. So Cocktail Brute's in here. He is an 8-1 chance in drifting. So I wonder if his participation is possibly in doubt. And then you've got Skylight Hustle, who I thought was extremely impressive at Punchestown, and I think that form will be franked a couple times over, because obviously we're pre-recording here, but Thurles on Saturday has the 4th placed horse, Top Core, running for Gavin Cromwell. With that yard in much better form and him down in class, I think he can go and win a maiden hurdle there at Thurles. And then you have Raven Dark, who would have a very good chance of winning the 4-year-old maiden on the Leopardstown card on the 26th, assuming he goes there. So he could have his form boosted or not by the time this race comes around. But he'd have a very good chance. But the one I'm going to take a chance on, if he does run, because he really left an impression on me, and I think it's a trainer that's going to have a really, really strong Christmas. Joseph O'Brien is Talk to Talk. He beat starting 15 at Limerick, who looks like a nice horse for Farrick McNamara. I think he's gone. He ran well in a few bumpers, and Talk to Talk, beat him pretty well. Touched the moon back in third. He was then really impressive against I'm Slippy and Mercia, bounded away from them in the shape of a very exciting horse in a grade 3 at Fairyhouse at the end of November. I just think he could be extremely impressive or extremely progressive, and at around 8 or 10-1, I think he's the value bet at the moment. I think he's been quite overlooked, and as I said, Joseph's a trainer I'm going to be following very, very closely, especially at Leopardstown over Christmas. So I'll take a chance on him in the novice hurdle. We're moving to Munster, lads, next for the Guinness 00 Faugheen Novices Chase, the grade 1 over 2 mile 5. Dec, I will come to you here first. I suppose this is probably going to be an open and shut case, really, isn't it?
No.
I think. Oh no, it's not. Okay, right. So we final demand in here at about 1 to 10, or 1 to 3. I think I know where you're going to go, and I'm probably going to back you up here, because we were chatting about this last night. I do recall. Oscar's brother now with JP McManus. They say that's interesting.
Oh, didn't know that.
Yeah, neither did I. That's news to me. This could be a really strong race now.
Does that mean he won't be doing any jigging here, and he goes towards the Irish National?
Look, I don't know. He could be just. I don't think so. I think they're going to be. He's rated 146, so I think they're just going to enjoy him and just see where he ends up. He'll handicap himself at this rate, I'd have thought. Right, but who do you like anyway? Go on.
Look, Predator's Gold, one of my, in the non-handicaps, it's probably going to be one of my bets of the Christmas. Look, Final Demand was very good as beginners, but Wingman has gone and let the farm down since, and it was against Predator's Goal. And like, Wingman never really got involved with Final Demand. They all just wanted to go in there and win, and then he chased them home. But Wingman was trying to beat Predator's Gold, and that run was after what was that first run for 18 months. I thought he was very, very good. We actually we talked about him. We covered that race, and we mentioned him and his form as a novice hurdler. Like, he was he third to Ballybourne, and then he might have been third again at Punchestown in the grade 1 novice hurdle. Look, there's nothing between him and Final Demand on a line through Wingman. There's half a length or something, but I'd be putting Predator's Goal performance ahead of Final Demand, because Wingman tried to race Predator's Goal and he's beat him. He wasn't trying to race Final Demand. I think he's an outrageous price here, and I think Final Demand is very, very short. Look, Jimmy Desoy, actually, he was very, very good on his debut at Fairyhouse. Still only a 6-year-old. He made it was a really, really good performance. It was kind of never in doubt. You knew he was going to win the whole way round. Jacob's Ladder was behind him. That was a race where he looked very, very slow. He's come back to 2 miles of 1. Gets Bill. He battled hard after being headed at Punchestown, and the third from that race has won since. This is a nice race. This is far from an open and closed case. Obviously, you've mentioned Oscar's brother, another one. He won that really, really good listed novice hurdle at Cork last year, Andy.
Yes.
I remember. Yeah.
I recall, yeah. I recall.
What did you say, the worst hurdle ever run in Ireland?
Worst graded hurdle or listed hurdle ever run in Ireland, yeah. I still stand by that, but you can't. they've all improved over fences.
Look, what how much is Predators Gold going to come on, having been off for 18 months and going and do what he done at Navan? It was Navan, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Navan beating Steel, yeah.
Look, even if it's not Predators Gold, Final Demand has an awful lot on his plate here. If he bolts up, wins this easy, he'd say he could be a bit of a freak, but he's not going to. I really, really fancy Predators Gold.
What I want to know is who's going to ride them, because I can only assume Paul Townend's going to be riding Galopin Des Champs at Leopardstown, unless they pivot him to New Year's Day, which would be a borderline war crime in my opinion. But I've seen stuff like that happen before. So, yeah, I don't know. The ride could be up for grabs. I don't know. We get Harry Cobden coming over.
Comes over,
yeah. I was thinking Harry Cobden could come over and ride him. You never know. Luke, what do you think anyway? You think Final Demand just wins this, or would you be having hesitation to 1-3?
Dec is just having a sick day there. He's don't mind that. This lad just goes out and wins, and Kitzbühel follows him home. Like Dec is saying, you probably have to be a bit of a freak to win it, but I actually think he is a bit. I know what he's saying about Wingman there, but it probably helped Wingman that you didn't get into a race with him, that you finished so close to him. He kind of disgraced himself the second day. He didn't really jump against Predators Gold. I know Predators Gold was good. You can't knock it each way there. But this field is likely to cut up here, and you're getting your 3 places now, or it's only even 2. Yeah. Final Demand just goes and wins. Oscar's brother probably won't have the gears. And Jimmy DeSoy was impressive, but is he likely to turn around? Is Willie going to run all these? I'd have my doubts that all of them are going to turn up. I'd imagine that Predators Gold and Kitzbühel might turn up out of Willie's.
I don't think Willie has a problem running a lot in this race, because he knows, they won't be getting jarred up. The ground's not going to be fast at Limerick. Like we've seen, Paddy and Danny having a scrap on the back of horses, like Gaelic Warrior and TAPmas. Last year he ran a few in it, didn't he? He was won by Imperial Pass, and I think he ran a few, and I don't think he's running them on here.
Well, but there's no 3 mile option anymore, and you would have thought. I know this doesn't train, but he's not trained by Willie. Oscar's brother would have 100% been going there. Even though he's a banter entry, Lonesome Boatman would have been going there. Western Walk could have. The big Westerner probably would have.
I'd imagine she's going to go for the Mare's novice, is she?
The Mare's, yeah, she will. Yeah, she absolutely will. Which is why you're only getting your 2 places. And then you've got even Predators Gold right now at 10-1. Like that, I would have thought that price is too good to be true. I'd be wondering his participation in doubt. Because he's not a 10-1 chance. I'd have him second in here comfortably. I have him above Jimmy DeSoy anyway. No questions asked. And probably Kitzbühel. So
I'd just be worried, is he going to turn him around again after such a long layoff before the last day?
Yeah, 22 days. It's a valid point because it's an early closer as well, isn't it? And I suppose they could go for something like the Killiney, couldn't they? Which is now Punchestown. Won by Lecky Watson last year, which would probably make more sense for him. But yeah, he'd be my selection if he ran as well. I'd happily back him without the favourite in each way, even with 2 places, because he only has the favourite to beat, in my opinion. Other than that, I think it's very hard to see Final Demand getting beat. Right, on to the main event over this side of the Irish Sea for Christmas. It's the Christmas hurdle. I thought it was the Savills Chase. Apologies. But it might be the main event for some people. Who knows? It depends if you've had a bet on it. Yeah, so onto the Christmas hurdle. Right, Dec, I'll stick with you, sure, why not? Probably a division that needs a bit of an injection at this stage. Yeah, so there's a lot there. There's a lot of horses kind of going on fact-finding missions. It'd be great to see Tahupu finally rock up, though. So, yeah, 7-4? And then you've got Home by the Lee, a staple in this race. Bob Ollinger, 6-1. I would have thought they'd go for the Rail Keel at Cheltenham with him, but who knows? But who do you like here?
Bob Ollinger's never won at Leopardstown.
I know, yeah.
He's won at Cheltenham plenty now, but he's never won at Leopardstown. He is a 10-year-old, and I couldn't see him winning this if he does turn up. Like, Ballybourne's very, very short, isn't he? I know he is, yeah. I know he got out of that pocket and he ran Tahupu down, but Tahupu's a different animal over 3 miles, and it feels like he'll always do enough. I know he was beaten by Bob Ollinger at Cheltenham, but he came back and he surprised me at Punchestown now, and because you were beginning to believe that he wanted the ground quite testing, but I thought he was very, very good at Punchestown, and that's probably his most impressive performance for me now. But he's turned up to the Hans Grace. He's just about held on. There's probably not an awful lot between them. I know people automatically think stepping up and trip, Ballybourne's going to beat him because of the way he ran him down, but it's kind of just the way the race unfolded as well. Jehubu had gone. He's obviously slowing down at the line, and Ballybourne were struggling to get out, so he was quickening. Tackle Tommy Woo was an interesting entry here. He won a listed hurdle at Cork. Was that same hurdle that
he's been taken out now? He did have an out. He's been taken out. Yeah, but he's still a novice, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, well,
look, he beat good girl Catley in that listed hurdle at Cork, and she's come out and won at Cork again last week. A really, really good ride from Dunamiller. Is there a chance of Rocky's Diamond turning up?
There is, I'd say there's a very good chance of him turning up. He's 25-1 at the moment and is slightly on the drift, but like he had a nice chasing debut, but he just hasn't really gone on from it.
I'd be happy to take a chance on Rocky's Diamond here if he does turn up, particularly at those sort of prices. Mick Keneally kick him out in front and just never seen another horse really, really, really well judged ride. Look, he was what was he? He wasn't beaten far now at Cheltenham, and he's still only a 5-year-old. Like,
yeah, for sure.
He's the one you want to see light up this division. If they park the chasing and stick to this, like he could be the exciting one. I'd be happy to have a punt on him at 25s if he runs.
If he runs, yeah. Is he in at Ascot as well? I think he had an entry at Ascot, but
I don't think he's running on Saturday. No.
I think he might be. No. I think he might be in. Mark Walchuk, no? No. Okay. No. Perfect. Might be looking somewhere else then. Okay, right, Luke, who are we on here?
We have the rematch between the top two here, and Ballyburn. Everyone came away from that race ranting and raving about him, but I thought Teahupoo was always just going to do enough, kind of. He always just does enough. Stepping up and trip is going to suit him. Like, Ballyburn has to go and get 3 miles, and he doesn't exactly race economically the way he goes down, taking a bite of grass every 100 yards or so. But I'd be a bit swayed at the ground with Teahupoo. I just think it might be a bit lively for him here. He's 7-4 and even money each of two. Of the two, I'd rather Teahupoo, but the one I'd take a chance on is Home by the Lead first time up. He's won 2 of the last 3 seasons, first time up. I know it's usually been at Navan in that 2.5 mile race, and he's bet Bob Bollinger twice. But I think here back up to 3 miles, he won this race last year, and he can get himself into trouble, but if he's on a going day, he always seems to get himself out of that trouble late on. Like, he looked in trouble turning in last year when Bob Bollinger hit the front, but you always kind of knew coming to the last he was just going to grind it out. I could see him doing something similar here at a decent price.
Yeah. I could see Mystical Power also closing the gap a little bit if they ride him cold. Him and Home by the Lee were the ones I was kind of looking at as each way alternatives myself. But I'll see. We'll see how they go. And definitely an interesting race. Ballyburn, I'd want to see him do it over 3 miles before backing him over 3 miles, especially over hurdles. Like, he could be, fierce keen. But yeah, no, we'll see how we go. And yeah, as you said with Teahupoo, the lively ground mightn't be ideal for him.
Yeah. We're nearly there now. Only
nearly there. Yeah, that's it. 2 more races as we join back there for the Savills Chase. Now, this is the main event. So apologies there, lads, for the mistake there earlier on. So this is 15 left here in the Savills Chase. We're going to have to return, hopefully, of Galopin des Champs after a slight setback. But I know the way you're thinking is actually, depending on where you look, is now favourite on some boards because of the likely defections of Factofoil and Gaelic Warrior. Dec, I'll come to you here first again. Always a great race. One of my favourite races the whole year, the Savills. And I don't think this year is going to be any different. Do you think Galopin can come back and do it again?
Why not? Look, I know Andy. Back at, what was it, the listed race at Torres, we were talking up Affordale Fiori and saying he's a great each way bet for this race. And is he going to turn up? He was drifting the other night. Is he still in it?
Yeah, he's still here. I still
Yeah.
think he'll run. I think he'll go very close. Yeah.
I'd say if he runs your place, money is safe. But like it's another absolute cracker. Like, but if I don't pass away now from this flu I have, which is it's
touch and
very
go.
likely now that very likely the way I'm feeling. Like I didn't think I was gonna make it through the night. I want to see Gallup and Deschamps lift the roof off the place, and I'll be there. I'll be there to see it. And like he's just magic. Like, you know, everything he's done. Even like that day at Punchestown when he came back and after being, you know, I went out on the shield in the Gold Cup, and he comes back and he bounces out. Never sees another horse. Brilliant performance at Punchestown. Like, and that's the first time he's won that. Yeah, won the Punchestown Gold Cup. Like, you know, it's hard to believe. It was amazing, and this is his playground. You want to see him do it here. Like, but Fast or Slow is back. He has been since he was touring the John Duncan last year, and probably got hurt in that race. It was a big performance, and just what the two of them have given us over the last few years, you just don't get it anymore. Like, you know,
no.
People talk about Cotto Star and Denman. These are, they can show you out of each other every opportunity they get. Like, these race each other everywhere. You know, Cotto Star and Denman didn't give us what these two, like, they done amazing things in their own right, but like the two of these turning up, Punchestown, Leopardstown, 2.5 miles, 3 miles, Cheltenham, like, you know, we are living through magical times in staying chasing, and I want to see, you know, poor Fast or Slow. Well, no, he's what is the score between them actually? Is it 3-3 or something?
Is it 3-2? Is it? I think
3-2.
Look, off the top of my head,
like Gallup and Deschamps is the people's horse. Like we didn't get to see him this year in the John Duncan, but like we see him every other time. There's no chance of going to Tramore. He's definitely running here, is he?
It's not a million, but like I'd hope he's going here. Yeah,
it'd be an absolute shame if he goes to Tramore, because this has been his playground. Like, from his beginner's chase here, you know, to last season, the 2 wins here last season when he looked in trouble. Like, that's what racing's about. Like, that's what we all want to see. You know, making the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. Poor line out of the way, I think, and I haven't even mentioned the Gold Cup winner, but like, you know, so many of us are in love with Gallup and Deschamps, and like, I know people who are into racing because of Gallup and Deschamps, and you know, they want to go and see him. So I really hope he does it. I think he can do it, and I really hope he does it, because he'd lift the roof off the place. Like, and it'd be amazing to be there.
Yeah, definitely Jerry Hannon's favourite horse as well. Yeah, no, his chase debut at Leopardstown, I'll never forget that. Incredible horse. Yeah, look, there is a few each way alternatives. Like, I know you're a big fan of Lecky Watson. I would expect a much better effort from him. And then obviously we've talked about Affidale Fury, who should be still improving. 7-year-old, now rising 8. Very easy winner at Thurles when last seen. Was behind MYLN and Western Fold in his last 2 starts, but he's improving all the time. Still relatively unexposed over fences, especially at 3 miles. So I would have thought he's the one I'd be with. He looks better than ever this year, in my opinion. I'm going to be backing him each way. But Lukey, do you think it's Galopin or bust here, or do you fancy anything else?
I'd probably just take on Galopin here now. I know Dec won't like to hear this, but just first time up, like, he's been a bit vulnerable first time up in Punchestown the last 2 years. Fast or Slow bet him the first year, and obviously we had the great clash of the 2 novices stepping into open company last year with Factive and Splans Tower. I'd probably just be a Fast or Slow. I know we've their Gold Cup winner in there at the top, but it took him till Cheltenham last year to be right. He's bet a long way out in the John Durkin. I know Gavin's weren't running great, but he's still a long way behind him. Fast or Slow, it was a good run for him. First time in over a year that he'd been on the track. He finished good 3rd. He was well bet in the end, but he probably just got a bit tired towards the end. Back up to 3 miles should suit him a lot better. I don't see Jerry Colomb back in the entries here. It'd be great to see him turn up, but it doesn't sound likely. He might be one that we'll see later on in the season. As you said, the other two look like going to Kempton, Factifile and Gaelic Warrior. The rest probably shouldn't be good enough. Affordale Fury, as you're saying, was good last day, but I'd be surprised if it wasn't just each way money he was collecting. So it'd be Fast or Slow for me.
Faster slow then for Luke. Right. So Affordale Fury faster slow, and then Dec, you're with Galopan, but you could see Affordale Fury running well. I think you're on mute there, eh?
Sorry about that.
Right.
You know how much of a fan of Lecky Watson I am, and like the races, it's one to save her really, but the hard one to. I'm too emotionally involved now at this stage.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So I hope he does. I hope it's a magical Christmas and he lifts the roof off the place. Because he will wouldn't we all love to be there to see him go and win? Like, do you remember that roar last year?
Yeah.
When he was, jumping the second last, like way out, like, do you know what I mean? And like even Paul Townend said that hit him. He's never heard a roar that far out at Leopardstown. Like it was, we want to experience these things, and he's a horse who can deliver these experiences for us. So I hope he does.
Yeah, no, for sure. Moving on to the final Grade 1 in Ireland, then over the Christmas period, it's the 29th of December at December Hurdle. They're probably up all night thinking of the name of this one, but here we are, over 2 miles. Another interesting race, goes without saying. We're going to have Lossiemouth here, probably a warm order. Luke, do you think she just goes and wins this, or could you see possibly anything upsetting her? Obviously, we don't have Christmas hurdle entries from Kempton yet. I think they're the 20th. They come out. I don't know why they're so late. It's a bit annoying. She's 2's on to go and win. Woodhill is in here as well, potential runner, but I wouldn't say it's guaranteed. And then there's Amsterdam, and I suppose the most interesting one against her maybe was Hello Neighbour. Gavin Cromwell was on racing TV, kind of. Lydia Hislop was basically asking who's he looking forward to running, kind of as an extension to his talking about, I know the way you're thinking over Christmas. And then unprompted he brought up Hello Neighbour at this race. So 25-1 could be an each way play at this rate, but you're probably only getting 2 places. But who do you like here?
Brighter Days Ahead is going to be supplemented here, isn't she? And she's going to go and win.
Oh,
well, she does have she has a beginner's entry over 2 miles as well on the 27th.
She's coming here.
But she definitely
she'll end up here.
All right, okay.
Yeah, I like her. Like what she done here last year was breathtaking stuff. And no statement probably didn't run his race, and she fairly kicked the rest of them out of the way. Amsterdam made a disgrace to himself in Newcastle the last day. He came there travelling. He had no excuses and got bet. Lossiemouth was very good in Punchestown, but like it wasn't much of a race. Back down to 2 miles. I'm not really sure 2 miles is her best trip. Like 2.5, she just seems to travel so much easier over 2.5 and goes and picks them up. So you seen with Woodoo last year at Aintree. Woodoo is an improving mare. She hasn't done anything wrong, but I just think this might just be a bit on the sharp side. And if they're thinking of supplementing Brighter Days Ahead, I'd say she might be a doubtful runner. It's good to see Future and Regin with the nice banter entry there with a rating of 98. I don't think it's going to quite cut up enough for him to get a bit of prize money, but you never know. And El Fabiolo back entered over hurdles is interesting as well. You wonder what he's going to do this season. He's got entries over hurdles and fences, so I'd say they might be tempted to come back over fences or come back over hurdles. I'm just seeing here he's 8. Like I would have had him down as a pensioner now at this stage. Feels like he's been around for years. But Brighter Days Ahead for me. If she gets supplemented, she'd be the one for me.
El Faliolo, that's probably the best, isn't it? I'll keep my comedy career on the short and narrow. I think he's in a very interesting runner. I don't know what the hell they're doing with him now at this stage, but I suppose they have to try something. What would be very interesting is I think she beat a very good horse in Celtic Dino at Ascot, and she's done very little else wrong. She gave Lossiemouth a good race at Aintree too. But 7-1, I'm not sure she is going to be running. She does have an entry on the 29th as well in that mare's race at Leopardstown, and I say she could draw an entry in the Rail Keel as well at Cheltenham. So interesting to see what they do with that. Dec, who do you like though?
Look, I'm of the opinion that horses only have so much mileage, and when you eat into that mileage, you don't get it back. And I would be concerned that's what happened with Brighter Days Ahead last year. Like we've seen it with Constitution Hill, for example. Like, Nico boots him home every opportunity he gets. Like, when you look at, Ruby done it with Faugheen, and apparently Willie went mad. Like, but you see the good Irish jockeys and they're winning these down. but I'd be worried now with eating into Brighter Days Ahead mileage last year, and has it left a mark? Like, I don't think she's been the same horse since. So that would be my concern. I think this race is red hot now. And I think Lassie's going to have it all her own way. Lukey's giving Amsterdam a good bit of stick there, but you have to remember, you know, he's a young horse. He was off since he got injured after the Limestone Lad at Nace back in February. He did put his head down and out battle the main line. Now, you might be able to argue that the main line is...
Where would he finish here, though?
Sorry?
Where would he finish here?
Yeah, look, I know that, but he did put his head down. Like, he didn't totally dog it, like, you know. He didn't go by the champion hurdler. Like, you know.
Yeah. The main line could have been drunk, though, for all, you know, at that stage trying to... But yeah, I know what you mean.
You know, but he didn't go by the champion hurdler when he looked like he was absolutely cruising. Like, Golden Ace deserves a bit of respect, like, you know.
Yeah, she was a furlong behind, like, when Stateman came down.
Sorry?
She was a furlong behind when Stateman came down, like.
Well, she still won the champion hurdle. She still be Constitution Hill and the New Lion, who's going to win the champion hurdle at Newcastle. Like, she can only do what she can do. You obviously didn't back her at Newcastle, did you, Luke?
No, I didn't back anything in that. No. I was just watching Amsterdam and thinking, the first time he got in the battle and his head just went.
Yeah, but he did put his head down and out battle the main line. I know he is what he is, but I was happy to see that. You know, it was his first trip away. He's been off since February. I think he's going to come on an awful lot for that run, and I think he is a champion hurdle contender. Would do, like, she gave Lassie now to scare at Aintree. She's going to give her another scare here. Cashel Lad, he fell in the Hatton's Grace when he wasn't completely done with, and I'm excited to see him here. And Aaron C, I'm not going to totally forget about, because that was way too bad to be true. Like, he's obviously able to throw in a howler, but when he's on song, he's very, very good. I don't, you know, it's a very, very good race. I can't really decide this far out, but like, if you were pushing me for one now, I think Amsterdam is the one with the most potential here, and the most improvement in him. But you can make a case for any of them. I think it's an absolute cracker.
Yeah, for sure. I'll make a decision between Cashel Lad and Hello Neighbour each way. I do. You are right about Cashel Lad. He definitely just run the blinder, and he might try and do that again. Don't know if he'd be able to get away with it over 2 miles now. Yeah, going a bit quicker, but yeah, Hello Neighbour with Gavin Cromwell's comments. Definitely an interesting all runner. We'll wrap up really quickly, lads. I'm going to put you on the spot here with the King George. I know you're sick, Dec, so only 1 or 2 words. With Factifile and Gaelic Warrior running, I thought it might be nice to cover it. Obviously, we can't cover anything else because the British entries don't pop out until the 20th, which is again a bit annoying. What can you do?
They're normally giddy with their entries, aren't they? They're normally out way before.
Yeah, they usually, absolutely, yeah. But look, we've a lot of Irish representation, I suppose. We've got Banbridge, we've got Factifile, we've got Gaelic Warrior. You know, there is other horses entered, but I don't think they are going to run. Like Faster Slow isn't going to go. Croke Park is entered, but I'd be jobby on the floor if he went. Firefox, I suppose, leagues 100 to 1, but he could go, I guess.
Is he not running?
He's running Saturday.
3-horse race.
Oh, he is. Okay, yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. You're right. You're dead right. Yeah, and then obviously there's the British runners, Django Bay, Jello, and I think they're, and obviously, the Ben Pauling horse, Jukebox Man. So it looks like a really strong King George, I think, Dec. A couple words on it before we let you go, because I know you're dying here. Yeah,
it looks a cracker. I think Banbridge is overpriced, and I think it's probably the most specialist track in racing, and it might be the most specialist race in racing. Like, people think Cheltenham is a specialist track, but I don't think it lays a glove now on Kempton. And if you handle it, you handle it. And I think that's why we see multiple winners of this race. I think he's a good each way bet. Obviously, Django Bay, he looks to have the right profile, but like, you still have to show you can handle Kempton in the King George. Like, you know, the pace they're going. There's nowhere for a breather. you know, you're going 2 mile pace over 3 miles. Like it's a really, really specialist race, and Bambridge done it really well last year. So, you know, at the price, I don't think Factor Foil stays well. I don't think he stays 3 miles well in open company. The only time he did it, he did stay 3 miles was in the RSA, and funny enough, he took every fence home with him. But like, he may have taken a blow in the John Dorkin, but he headed Gaelic Warrior, who's gone out and done all his own donkey work there, and he was outstayed by him. That would be concerning for me now, backing a horse at 9-4 in this race. But yeah, look, if Django Bay does take to it, I think he could be tough to beat. But we know Bambridge, you know, has taken to it before, and he's just too big a price.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm all over Django Bay. I think he's the one that they all have to be with. Like Arkle winner now stepping up in trip. I know he kind of fell into the Arkle, but the race is working out, and he had to be fast enough to still fall into the race in the first place.
He wasn't very fast early on now.
No, absolutely not. But I think he's a sure jumper. I think he'll be held up off the pace. He'll come there late. I don't think the trip's any problem. I'd fancy him for a Gold Cup as well myself. I think he's the real deal. I do. So yeah, be Django Bay for me. Luke, who do you like?
I like Factor Foil. I just like going against whatever you say now. At this stage, it seems to be that way today. No, I like him. Flat tracker in Kempton. He travels well. I'd just be worried about Gaelic Warrior and Elite de France. If he runs, I could see these two getting on each other's tails here and just lighting up. And there's no real stopping Gaelic Warrior when he gets going. And that's the reason I'd kind of be a bit worried about Django Bay. Will he be able to keep touch early? Because these are going to rattle down the back straight in Kempton first time. And it's just whether he can keep in touch. Like he obviously stays well. You wouldn't have any issue with him stepping up to 3 miles, but it's just him keeping in touch early. The Jukebox Man is very good the last day in that graduation chase, but he's stepping up here. I like the horse, but I just think it might be a step too far. Factor Foil, like he'll be able to travel away early and settle because there is likely to be a strong pace here. He travelled away in the Ryanair last year, taking the lead off Ile Francie, and just took it up, turning in. It was game over. I could see him taking it up there to 2 out and just not being caught.
Yeah, very good. Right, before I let you go, lads, then I think there's an app at the top here, unfortunately, but you're out of the grade ones, your biggest fancy of the week.
Oh, Predators Gold.
Predators Gold, okay.
Predators Gold, that judo will be where I'm looking at. But are we throwing up extra bets here on the handicap?
Probably the handicaps, I'd say.
Right,
Unless you want to, it's up to yourself. Probably the handicaps, though. We'll let them wait.
We let them wait.
Yeah. And Luke, for yourself?
I haven't even looked. Sure, whatever Attaboy Charlie turns up and he was going to win off areas the last day, Dec will tell you. And whatever when he turns up in 2 miles.
I was looking for grade one fancy, not the actual handicaps ones. Well, I suppose you're not going to.
Sure. I probably won't be here anyway, so.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Biafadel Fury each way for maybe the main one. 25-1. Give me a bit of that.
That'd be bad ruin everyone's buzz.
Yeah.
Like, well, I know, I'm probably going to back him as well. And like we talked about him back in Tourless, and I'd take a place when you're safe. But if he won, that would ruin me Christmas.
That way.
Like my bank account would probably be happy, but it would ruin me Christmas.
It would, yeah. That looked at least your bank account would be happy. I will throw up one for the Christmas hurdle, even though there's no entries. I'm expecting to see Celtic Dino in that race. I saw him. I'm assuming he will be. We spoke about him there with Woodhill's form. I'll take him against Sergino. I like that horse was 7-2 to be alive this time at this stage last year. Like, so yeah, I couldn't be having that price for a champion hurdle. And yeah, Celtic Dino, the Dr. Dino back to 2 miles. Yeah, that's where my money's gonna be on. Right, until next time, guys, which would be TAP133 would be the handicap show, maybe half the handicap show. We'll see how it goes. But just keep like, share, and subscribe. And Dec, get yourself back to bed. Luke, thanks for joining us. All the best, guys. Bye bye.
Good luck.